Crypto Hotep here with another trading video. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, this is a crypto market update video, and we'll be discussing the current market events that's happening this week, something to keep your eye out on, how I'm feeling in regards to the markets, and then we'll cover our spot altcoin portfolio and see how that's doing. A lot of things have changed within the last week, and they are trending in the right direction. But first and foremost, let's look. But before I begin, let me say this. None of this is financial advice, especially with crypto. Please do your own due diligence, and please research your coins, crypto, anything you're investing in. And as always, big shout outs to Coinbase. Coinbase is the GOAT crypto broker. I've been using them for now over 6 years. They were my first broker getting into the crypto game, and they're still my broker now. If you guys want to support the channel, use the Coinbase link in the description, even if you have a Coinbase account, so you can tie it into that account. When you do, Coinbase will actually pay me whatever a portion of the trading fees that they charge you to trade crypto with them. So you don't have to send me any Bitcoin, you don't have to send me any ETH, you don't have to do any of that. You can just tie your account in with the link in the description. Now, with that being said, guys, let's jump into the calendar. So for this week, which is the week of the 12th here, and this is a Monday that we're doing this video, a couple things have happened. We had a couple Fed chairs speak. We have Fed Bostic, Fed Barkin speak, and then Fed Williams. Nothing too out of the norms here. You also had 3-month bill auction, 6-month bill. These things I really don't pay attention to. Tuesday is going to be where the fireworks go off. And the reason is you have a couple things. You got the ADP employment change weekly, which is common. That might not do anything. Okay. What's going to be doing something here is the inflation. So core inflation rate is coming out once again, and we can click in here. So your core inflation rate year over year, the consensus for tomorrow is 2.7%. That's what we're forecasting, is 2.7%. When we unveiled the inflation numbers back in December, the consensus was 3%. It came down way below at 2.6%. So now we're forecasting a 2.7% inflation number. I honestly think this is going to be down, only because of the oil prices as of late. So I think this could be 2.6, 2.5%. That's what I'm guesstimating here for core inflation. So I think it's actually going to be even lower. So we'll see. Again, we will see. But needless to say, whether this goes up or down, it's going to be a very volatile day. If it goes down, as we all know, that's very bullish, and that's what we would like to see. We also have, let's look at, so this is Tuesday. We have another Fed Barkin speech, nothing too major else for Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be inflation day, so that's going to be the main event. If we go to Wednesday, we also have PPI. That's also something to keep an eye on. I don't think PPI affects crypto as much as it does as like foreign exchange or Forex. I think in exchange it definitely affects it somewhat, but for crypto I don't think it affects us as much. So, you know, I don't really pay attention to that. Let's keep going here. Then we also have all the other Feds speaking here. Then we're into Thursday. Thursday we have initial jobless claims, just like last week. Okay. Then we have more Fed chairs speaking here, and then we're down to Friday. So Friday is pretty much wraps up this week here. Not a lot going on past the core inflation. So CPI week or CPI day tomorrow. CPI is going to be very big, because the reason CPI is so big is because then it plays off of the Fed rate cuts or the potential for a Fed rate cut as well. So we'll see. Again, you guys heard what I'm thinking. But as always, more to come, and we will check back tomorrow. Let's go into our market overview for crypto, and we're on CoinMarketCap right now. Let's see what we have going on here. So for crypto market overview, if we start at the Fear and Greed Index, it's neutral. So if you've been following along with these updates, we've moved past from being in extreme fear, right, back now into fear, and now we're in neutral. So does that mean that we can expect a huge sell-off because of this? I don't believe so. This is actually showing some hope here. What we're looking for is we're looking for the index to get to that extreme greed stage as it did back in November, December of 2024, and then as it did in March 2024. It hasn't gone up there into this extreme greed level since then, which is very odd. It's gotten really close. It's gotten to not extreme greed, but just greed here. This was back in May, back in May 2025. But other than that, it hasn't gotten up to that point. And then obviously, that November, December 2024. So again, it looks good, but we will see. And this would make sense. If we see this V-shaped recovery here, this bounce makes complete sense here. Altcoin season index. Let's look at the altcoin season index. We've slightly nudged ahead here. It's still near Bitcoin season at 29 out of 100. As you can see, no big movements here. We still aren't in the blue, but we've inched up a little bit, so nothing too major here. Bitcoin dominance, and we'll look at the charts for this, but Bitcoin dominance is at 58.7%. Ethereum's at 12%. So relatively flat. It's slightly, if we're looking at Bitcoin dominance from a yearly perspective, yes, it has gone up, but it's stayed flat since 2025 for the most part. Okay. Let us go to crypto ETFs. So ETFs, for January 11th, we did see some net inflows, right? So inflows we'd like to see. The net inflows are about 149 million between both Bitcoin and ETH. So now we have somewhat of some inflows on the upswing. We can see a lot of selling, mostly from BlackRock here, from January 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, just a barrage of sell orders right here. But we finally have a little glimmer of hope here starting on January 11th. So good to see that. Good to see that here. And let's go to our charts. So if we look at USDC, okay. So if we look at USDC from last week to this week, we have 1, 2, 3 red candles or 3 black crows for the pattern. That's a good thing. So remember, if we're looking at USDC dominance, we want USDC dominance to trend downward. This is bullish for Bitcoin. This is bullish for altcoins as well. When USDC or stable coins in general, such as USDT or Tether, when this trends downward, typically your altcoins will trend upwards. It's the exact opposite. So we want to see bearish pressure like this continue. What we would like to see is just an onslaught of selling just accelerate right here, and then being mindful of this demand area here to get out of your altcoin positions. So for my thesis here, we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot with stable coins. We like to see the red. Same thing with USDT. USDT is in a little bit of a scarier spot here, and it's just not dumping. I wish it would just dump right here, but it's not. It's like holding on for dear life. Just one last candle here in this supply zone. It's just holding on for dear life, not wanting to fall here. It's just like, come on, just let it go here. But again, we see 3 red candles. We're still in a good spot. So we will see, guys. We will see. Let's go to the dollar. The dollar, between this week and last week, I still think this is a potential dead cat bounce here. We'll see at the end of the week how this candle looks for the dollar index. But again, nothing too major in terms of the movement. It still hasn't cleared the high here, so I think we're still good in terms of the dollar. Again, very similar to stable coins, that if the dollar crashes, that's fine for assets. That's actually bullish for assets, whether it be stocks, crypto, metals. That's what we want to see, right? Bitcoin dominance, we just spoke on this. Again, 60% with Bitcoin dominance has been the quote-unquote sell wall for Bitcoin dominance. As you can see here, this is 59.94%. We can round that up to 60%. This has been a barrier to overcome for Bitcoin dominance, which is completely fine. If Bitcoin dominance starts to teeter off or go downward, that's actually bullish for your altcoins as well. So as long as this stays below 60%, I think the altcoin season may still occur. So we're still looking good here. Let's go to ETH BTC, which is the basic premise for altcoins. Again, we still look good. It's like the exact opposite of Bitcoin dominance, right? So Bitcoin dominance, we were battling with a supply zone or resistance zone. ETH BTC, we're battling with a demand or support area right here. And it's still, after the break of the falling wedge here, price is still being supported by this area here. It hasn't broken down yet. So unless it breaks down, we are still bullish here. And it closed successfully and is still closing above the 50 EMA, which is this purple line right here. You can see right here. Zoom in just so we can see it right here. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. We have all above the 50-week EMA. You love to see that. Okay. And let's go to our total 3 chart. Our total 3 chart is the altcoin market in general. Altcoin market, it looks great. I'm very cautious to say that, but it looks very, very good. If I was actually buying the whole total 3, I would have bought here all day. Why? Well, if we zoom in here, this candle closed not only inside the weekly demand zone, but it closed above this major support point right here. Closed right above it. To me, that signals bullish intent and bullish sentiment for the market, and I think things may have changed. So all in all, it's looking good for altcoins right here. We have a break in your downtrend significantly with a nice bullish candle in the demand zone. We are oversold. It's the perfect storm here. This is what you like to see. Let's go to Bitcoin. Okay, so we look at the king here, Bitcoin. Bitcoin still looks fine in my book. Nothing has broken down yet. Price is still in the fib golden zone, which is between 50 and 61.8. Still sitting in this price here. There's really nothing you can say. I know it's boring price action because it's like, oh, crypto hotep has been the same thing for like, a month. Yeah, that's just how it goes. Sometimes it can be very, very boring, where people like to get out because it's not doing anything, and then all of a sudden it just pops up. So I think that's what could happen here, but price is still sitting in between that zone. So unless it breaks down past 80K, I'm still bullish. So I'm not reverting to any other side. Now Ethereum, and this is what I was saying last week, Ethereum's a little bit different story because it broke down past your fib golden zone. However, price has stayed in contact with that zone. So when price does this is all manipulation below a specific zone. So when you have this fib golden zone, you can see, most of the time, quote unquote, smart money will say, retail buyers will buy anything in this zone. Well, let me keep price near this zone and just kind of manipulate it below it, pretending as if price is going down when it's really not, and they're just staying below this zone so they could just ride it back up. So I think that's what's going to happen. This move is still validated. Until we break down further towards 2200, I'm still in line, and before we get rejected fully by this area, I'm still bullish on ETH. So, and again, I'm bullish because price is still hanging around this area and it hasn't broken down as of yet. And then let's go to our coins, our altcoins that we are still in trades in. We haven't sold anything yet. However, we did buy. So we had two buys. So we had two buys, one for Aerodrome. We'll showcase this. So I did buy this previous candle on Sunday right here. I bought this one right here, and we bought at 0.54553. So 0.54 cents per Aerodrome. We did buy and add to our position here. This is a very good buy. We have, again, it follows my rules where price shows a bullish doji or a bullish candle in a weekly demand level. This is a weekly demand level. Check. Does the price close at or above the support level? This candle did close at the support level of 0.52621. Check right here. Is it oversold on the slow stochastic? Yes, it is. It is oversold on the slow stochastic below 20. Check. So this hit all the markers for me, and this was a fantastic buy here. Very good buy for me, and I didn't hesitate to buy that. The second buy that we had was C. C, very similar description of that buy. We are oversold below 20 here in your slow stochastic. We have bullish reaction to a demand level and a close above the support point right here. Okay, and then we bought at 0.11910. So again, I would still buy that. C has been downtrending since September, all continuous red candles, and we finally see some life here from some buyers. So yeah, I'm gonna buy that. Right. Now let's look at Uniswap. Uniswap, I didn't want to buy any Uniswap because this didn't align with my rules. And the reason is because I had already bought this candle, and one of my rules is I can only buy one candle within a range. So this is your range here. I can only buy one time here, and that's it. So that was my buy. I'm not buying any of this, and I wouldn't buy this anyways because it didn't close. None of these candles closed above the support point of $5.89. And in fact, it looks like it's trending downwards. I think this may reverse though and come back and reclaim the $6 point or the $6 weekly demand level, but we have not added anything to Uniswap. Okay. The graph, one of the worst performing assets in the crypto portfolio. Not doing anything yet. I haven't taken this demand level out because I would like to see price come and reclaim this 5 cents level back. So I'm going to keep this just as a point of interest. If it reclaims this, I will add in this level only for graph, and that's it. Okay. The only way I would adjust that is if there's a demand level that's formed at 0.03. If a demand level forms for graph at 0.03, meaning that you have 3 bullish candles to the upside, and then it comes back and retests it, and then you have a bullish doji, I could buy that. That wouldn't be a problem. I wouldn't mind buying that. And then last but not least, let's look at NEAR. NEAR is kind of floating in no man's land here. So it broke this accumulation. So you can see price coming down here, and it did produce some bullish candles here, but it's in no man's land. It didn't react with this weekly demand level. It's nowhere close, and we just don't want to buy that. It doesn't follow any of my rules, and you would literally just be buying in no man's land here. So what you want to do is you want to be patient, and now if this candlestick, this current weekly candlestick, closes green, this would legitimately be a weekly demand area that you could draw and then wait for price to come back down into, show bullish intent again, and then you could buy. But again, you got to wait. You got to be patient with a Y. Okay, so nothing as of yet. We're just waiting and watching for near. And then let's look at our portfolio. Our portfolio surprisingly looks a little bit better than last week. So our 1 month is a positive now, 4.49%. 3 month is still negative 12.48%, but we closed down on that. And then 6 month is a negative 14.53%. USD is still my major position, even after those 2 buys with Aerodrome and C. As you can see here, P&L for each of the coins still all in all in the red. Aerodrome negative 25%, Uniswap negative 26%, Near negative 37%, C negative 42%, and then Graph negative 57%. But these are all improved from last week. And we actually bought Aerodrome and C at a discount, thus bringing our per coin price down with it as well. So again, guys, thank you for another crypto market update. How I'm feeling overall, I'm feeling real bullish about the crypto market in general right now. There's a lot of good things with USDC and USDT declining that I like to see. We also have the Clarity Act coming up with the government, which could get passed. That could be bullish news, could be. We have CPI coming up, so there's a lot of things coming up in the week that bodes well for crypto. How I feel about my bags, I am still comfortable with all my cryptos I'm holding, and I would hold them still. No issues at all. But if this video is helpful, guys, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, reshare, retweet. Let me know what you guys are investing in from a crypto perspective and what you're trading in, and if these videos were helpful. As always, guys, thank you and happy trading.